And I know today is going to be my day.
Hi guys, welcome back to another wedding planning episode. If you missed our first one, it will always be linked in the description box below, as well as linked in the first few minutes with a card. And please be sure to check out my wedding shorts playlist because I have created a lot of short content over on shorts. So I want to apologize for this video coming out so late after episode 1. That's for a few reasons. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties. I got a brand new camera several months ago, and majority of this wedding planning journey and like the wedding vlog is on that camera, but it's such high quality that when I import it, I'm having trouble keeping the film compatible, not only with my laptop, but also with my editing app. It's been difficult to figure out, so I do apologize. I have lost some footage. I've had to like re-upload and search for footage, so that's been difficult, and that's why this has been so late. So I do apologize. If you guys could just extend grace to me while I figure it out, I'd really appreciate it. Also, thank you so much for answering the poll that I had on the channel. Thankfully, you guys said like 30-minute vlogs because this one is going to be long. So first, let's take a peek at the venue. So you guys may be wondering, how did we even get started looking for a venue without a wedding planner? Well, we simply just looked on Google and we used Yelp. I do want to say I was shocked. Like, obviously we all know weddings are expensive, right? That's why people are engaged for like a year so they can save and plan and do all the things. But I was still shocked at how much wedding venues cost. Now, we had a lot of different options in the area. We had like all-inclusive venues. We had venues that were just basically the space. Then you would have to rent out like the DJ, a photo booth, chairs, tables. We had some venues that were like half, so we definitely did have a lot of options, but none of the options were quite in our budget. So I was getting discouraged. You guys may be asking, okay, well, what was your budget? Originally, I wanted to do our wedding because it was also in such a short time frame, right? We had to use the money we already had. We didn't have time to save. I wanted to shoot for $3K. That sounds impossible, but it's definitely possible. I'm gonna say our budget was $7,000. Also, side note, I do not know how much we spent on our wedding because at a certain point I stopped calculating because it was not good for the mental, but I'm assuming we went around 7,000. So after doing our research, we ended up finding 2 places that we booked a tour with. The first place is a popular wedding venue in the area. It's in the forest that we liked, but the starting price was like $6,000. Honestly, it's been a while, so I can't remember all that includes, but I think that was ceremony, reception. Obviously, it came with tables and chairs. And then on top of the $6,000, they were going to charge per dessert plate, per appetizer plate, and per main dish. So it was a reach for us, but I was getting desperate. We really couldn't find anything else that was in the budget, so we went ahead and booked with them. And then I went on to Yelp, and I was on like the last page of my wedding search, and I ended up finding this lodge. So I almost didn't click on this wedding venue, like this lodge thing, because it did not look like a wedding venue. But I'm like, well, obviously it's on this page of Yelp for a wedding venue, so let me click on it. And honestly, guys, thank God I did, because that ended up being our venue. And they were starting price like $1,100. Don't know the exact price, but I was like, there's no way. I just booked a tour with a place at $6,000, and that's not even the final price. So the fact that I found this $1,000 one, called right away, and we scheduled a tour with them as well. So I just want to share a couple of God things in this. Before we were going to the venue, I was praying that we would be able to afford this venue and that it would have everything we foundationally desired, right? Like all the main things that we wanted. And I was praying and asking God that he would clearly communicate to me if that was supposed to be our wedding venue or not. So we ended up canceling our tour with the first one because Chance wasn't available to go look at it on the day that they booked us. So we rescheduled with them. During that reschedule period, we ended up going to look at the second venue, and here's a little clip of that.
Oh, that is such a perfect view.
Yeah, it's so solid. Like, you guys, that's what my brother were looking at. And we're like, it's nice. We like this place. And so like,
Now, here's another God thing. This place is in a forest that's very sentimental to Chance and I. We grew up hanging out there. We actually took our daughter's maternity photos like 2 streets up from there. It's such a beautiful place. And the man who owns it, it's a family-owned like property and wedding venue, was so incredible, so kind. And he literally told us like his mission, he got married in Las Vegas in a little chapel, and his mission, he said, is to create an affordable venue places for families. so that they don't have to break their bank and they can still have a beautiful venue. And honestly, you guys, it was so amazing. When I walked in there, we were praying. We're like, okay, God, show us. Like, if this is it, Lord, let us know. Let us have that peaceful confirmation. It's everything we wanted. It's the feel that we want. And then we get to the altar outside, and I just have Holy Spirit goosebumps all over my body. I start tearing up like I'm gonna cry. And I ended up taking a picture in the video that I recorded of Chance and Novella. And when I went to look back on it later on, there's this beautiful stream of light right from the top of the sky down on Chance and Novella at the altar, and it was so beautiful. So I'm already emotional. Like, I already know it's our place. We can afford it. It's so under budget and it's beautiful. It has all the amenities we need. We keep walking and we're almost done. It has a kitchenette, like this grand little room with complete sunlight welcoming in because of the sliding glass doors. It has a kids playground. It has lodging, like everything we could possibly need. And then he takes us to the blessing room.
But it's kind of a paid forward room, so there's chairs, there's tables, there's silverware, dishware.
Almost every single one's there.
Wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And the blessing room was in the back, and it was literally a huge room full of decor that we could use for free. The only rule was we had to put everything back where it was after the wedding. And that, like, I just started breaking out crying. I'm like, this is so beautiful. Like, how could these humans even do this? Like, this is wonderful. Like, do you know how much wedding decorations cost, right? And it was just wonderful. So I looked at Chance, he looked at me, and I was like, is it? And he's like, yeah. And that was our place. Now let's talk about our wedding date. So I originally wanted to get married back in August because August is such a sentimental month to us. Every year we usually go on a family vacation. Last year we were in Seattle. It was such a fun time, and August is just a really fun, beautiful, family-oriented month, and it's in summer. However, our venue kind of determined that for us because by the time we got to scheduling our tours and looking around, they obviously only had certain dates available. So they had the 23rd and then the 29th available. After we went through the tour and everything, obviously we had to go through the contract, make sure everything was good, and then they basically kind of gave us two dates, the 23rd or the 29th. And I thought for some reason he kept saying the 29th, so I assumed we were getting married on the 29th. And finally, like the final day of like contract signing and submitting and all that stuff, it was the 23rd. So our venue kind of decided that, but I'm so glad because 9/23/23 is just such a beautiful, easy to remember wedding day, and I love how it flows. And also, you guys, the weather was perfect, and it was our God-given day. Like, it was our God-ordained day to get married, and I'm just obsessed. So that's kind of how we came up with our wedding day. It was basically the venue gave us the option. So okay, it's morning time. I just put on a ton of sunscreen, so I look really washed out, but I'm calling the venue to hear the rest of the details about the contract and sign it and essentially seal the deal. So I'm all prepared. I was hoping to wait till Chance got home to do this, but he doesn't get home till 3, and I have to call the guy now because I don't know how long it's going to take, and he leaves the venue at 3 o'clock, so it just wouldn't work out. But I have everything I need. I have my laptop here, I have my pen and my planner so I can write extra things down. Then I just also have all the information from the venue so I can kind of jot things down. So I hope that it goes well. I feel like I kind of wanted to share this with you guys. I'm really excited. We were actually supposed to do this on Friday, but it just didn't work out. So it is a Monday, May 15th, and I am calling to secure our venue, which is like so crazy. So I really hope that it goes well. Lord Jesus, help me to have wisdom, to have discernment. Lord God, let my yes be yes and my no be no. Holy Spirit, would you lead me in every word and in every decision? And if there's something that I need to ask about, Holy Spirit, would you prompt me? Would you reveal it to me? And I just pray, God, that this would all go according to your plan and to your will, so that we can take that covenant before you, Lord, and finally become a family. So I ask this in Jesus' name. I have some worship music playing just because we were actually worshiping before this, but yeah. Since we are planning this by ourselves, I've just been watching so many YouTube videos. I've been doing research, and I've been watching like wedding planning channels, 2 in particular, and pretty much anytime I have free time, that's just what I do. When I scroll on my phone, I'm not like scrolling normal videos. I'm either scouring Facebook Marketplace for wedding decor deals or wedding decor ideas, or I'm adding stuff to my wedding album or like Googling things, and that's all I've been doing. And I feel like doing this, I've gotten such a good, like, well-rounded general foundation of what I need to know. And yeah, it's just crazy because when I first started, I was like, oh my goodness, given we do like birthday parties and like baby showers,
So I feel like I wasn't completely clueless, but when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, girl, how do I even begin? And now I just have like a general foundation. So right now I'm doing my nails. I'm practicing my nails at home, and I'm just watching more videos. I've been watching Kaya Wolfgang's like wedding vlogs just because I feel like it's putting me in the mood. It's getting me like excited. And then earlier today I actually went, and another thing I've been doing is just going to stores and just looking and taking pictures of stuff, like just getting ideas, getting ideas for how much things cost as well. And I went to Hobby Lobby, and that's what I did for like an hour straight. I was just in there. I didn't even buy anything. I just walked around, took photos, was like getting ideas. And they have, Hobby Lobby has such a good wedding decor section. Like the whole back of their store is like, they have a portion that's wedding stuff. And I'm like, I've watched so many YouTube videos and I have not seen anyone go to Hobby Lobby. And you could get everything you need. I'm gonna probably get my veil from there because I saw a really cute one and like a cute headpiece. I typically see like Amazon, Dollar Tree, like, or like party prep stuff, but Hobby Lobby's where it's at. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
I also wanted to share a little bit more of how we started doing our planning, considering we're not party planners or wedding planners, and we've never done this before. So I have little notes here. So I used an Excel sheet just on my laptop, and I started like categorizing and inputting like the different things like DIY decor, dress, venue, DJ, food, like all the things. And I basically just started plugging them in and color coding them. Green means we paid for it. Red means we need to pay for it. I would put like the due date, and then I would just leave black for the things that we needed. And honestly, that was such an easy way for me to keep track of all the stuff. And it's also a good way to keep track of your budgeting. I know there's many good apps you can pay for, like wedding planning apps. I personally just use Excel, girl. I also had a blank notebook at the very beginning that I was writing stuff in. That didn't last long. I found it easier to store stuff on my phone, in my wedding planning album, in my notes, or on my Excel sheet. Let's see. Yes, that's a big thing. Create a wedding planning album in your phone. Maybe do 2. I did this for all of my vlogs. Like I put my vlogs in there so I could easily keep track, because this took like a span of 5 months, right? And then I also was adding stuff to my wedding album that we wanted, like decor, like waiting for payday, or stuff that I found that I liked, or just different ideas. Also, you can add in there like your screenshots from Pinterest. That was super helpful. And then you have your phone with you all the time, so you can just pull it out and look, girl. Let's see, what else did I use? Oh, I used Canva. Canva is what I use to make our invitations and all of our signage. Canva is awesome. On YouTube, you guys already saw I subscribed to a lot of different channels and kept up with that. I'm not unsubscribed because I'm done being married, right? But that was definitely good to see in my feed all the time. Local Facebook groups is also really great. Join your like local area codes bridal Facebook group. That way you can check to see recommended caterers, reviews, like photographer reviews. You'd be surprised at how many people got scammed on their wedding. They pay people in full, didn't show up. But also you can get items that brides are reselling from their wedding that has passed. And yeah, I watch lots of planning videos and wedding prep vlogs and shorts, like I already told you guys. Okay, next I'm going to talk about how we chose our wedding theme and our wedding colors. So weddings do have themes. Sometimes your theme is sentimental to what you and your husband like. For instance, people will have a favorite book or a favorite movie, and that's kind of what their wedding theme and their decorations is surrounded around. Or maybe you just want to have like a traditional wedding, right? All the traditional elements and aspects. And then obviously you need to pick your color. So because our venue was in the forest, that helped us to pick our theme right away, which was a forest and like woodland theme, which I really love this because it was just another sweet full circle moment. We did a woodland baby shower for my daughter's baby shower. So I just thought it was super sweet that like years later, our wedding would be like in the forest and woodland. So our venue helped us to determine that. And then our colors. Chance's favorite color is orange, and mine is like a lilac, lavender, purple. So obviously that wasn't gonna work, right? That would just be too much. And I'm sure some people can make it work, but for us, we're like, okay, we can't do that. So we're gonna have to think of another different color. Well, we don't have other favorite colors. So I basically just went on Pinterest and I was like, wood wedding colors. And I saw a bunch of different color schemes, which were really beautiful. Going into this on a budget, I knew that white was a very good option because white decorations for a wedding are always cheaper than color decorations. It's also what they say is very classy and timeless. So tip for you, if you're going to have a budget wedding, keep with a solid neutral color. white is a good way to go. You can also go with silver and gold. Some people go with black. I personally would not do that unless it was like tiny accent colors, but black does look classy if you do like black and white. And yeah, so I knew that we could definitely do white, but I didn't want all white. So on Pinterest scrolling, I saw a bunch of different shades of like foresty green, and we ended up falling in love with sage green, which is like a light green. So basically our theme helped us to pick our colors, and the location, hello, it made perfect sense. So our colors ended up being white, sage green, and then later on we ended up adding hints of gold. I also want to insert another little God moment. So another thing you have to figure out is like your florals. I was like, I'm sorry, but we're not buying real flowers. Like, it ain't gonna happen. Like, maybe my bouquet and your boutonniere can be real, but other than that, we're doing fake flowers on the table because flowers are so expensive. And then I'm sorry, but they dry out, they die. I think it's a waste of money. I mean, if you're rich and you got the money to spend on that, then by all means, that'd be great. But most people aren't in that type of situation. So for the flowers, I've always liked baby's breath. And Chance was kind of deciding on his. Obviously, our flowers had to match our woodland theme. And I was at Hobby Lobby, and I'll put a picture here. I saw this garland, and I didn't know what it was, but it was beautiful. It was like this frosted, like snow leaf. And I knew we were going to be married in the fall, so I was like, this is beautiful. I don't know what it's called, but I love this. So I saved it in my wedding album. And then like a week later, we were at church service, you guys. And I'm in the women's bathroom, and they always decorate it for like the different seasons. And they're so precious the way they do that. And I saw this pot, and I looked in the pot, and it had this same flower, and I was like, what is this called? I'm at fusion service. I think it's June 6th, Wednesday. Is this a sign from the Lord about the lamb's ear? Because this is in our bathroom. Oh, that's beautiful. Lo and behold, it's called lamb's ear, and I was obsessed. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Jesus Christ has redeemed my life. He's changed my entire life. Like, we're getting married and we're here on this day because of him. What a special but small tribute to the Lord, to the Lamb who was slain, and we can incorporate him in our wedding day. So that ended up being my flower. Chance didn't fully love the frosted look, but he ended up picking eucalyptus. But I just want to share that small moment. I was like, is this my wedding flower, baby girl? Yes, it was. So we ended up going with baby's breath, eucalyptus, and a little bit of lamb's ear for our floral arrangements. All right, guys, so I wanted just to update and show you guys what I've been working on the past 2 days. So I'm working on something called a bridal party rundown, because we're not having a wedding planner, coordinators, or any extra help. We're doing this all on our own. Our time frame is 4 months, and a 4-month budget, baby, does not allow for all of the traditional things we would like to have. So we can't have a planner. So not only do I want them just to be aware of what I am expecting, but I also want them to be confident and just know what they're doing, and everyone is on the same page. So I'm using Canva. I found a template that I liked, and then I just changed things up, added things, and customized it to my liking. The first thing that I've created is a frequently asked question page, and I labeled it Bridal Party Rundown, girl. So on this page, I'm literally just answering any and all questions they may have, and like kind of laying down the foundation of what I am wanting from my bridesmaids. So their overall role, if they have to pay for things, what will they help with, their hair, makeup, and dress, how we're going to communicate all together, rehearsal dinner, if they're expected to host a bridal shower for me, if they're expected to give speeches, when and where they will be expected to be, what's their specific jobs, and if there is a day of coordinator or any other venue workers helping us. So I put down here as well to keep this paper for future reference. I just want it to be very cut and dry, and I do not want them to be stressed out. And my sister-in-law, she actually just went to a wedding, and she confided in me, literally asking me if we could have a schedule and if I could write things down for her, because she was a bridesmaid, and actually, you guys, she was a maid of honor and didn't know anything until the day of, and that's just so stressful. So we have the first page, which is frequently asked questions. Then I have customized and made pages for each and every one of my bridesmaids with what they're going to do. Now, another disclaimer, everyone that I've asked to be a part of this bridal party is my literal family. They're my sister or my sister-in-law, and I have a very good, deep connection with them, so it's not odd for them to be helping me to this extent. And number two, I asked if they were okay with helping me prior to even making this and prior to even like proposing to them. So just want to make that clear, but here's one of their rundowns. On here, I've detailed what they're going to do and everything, girl, they could possibly ask, just so they could have this and they don't have to be stressed out and they don't have to feel like they have to keep bothering me or anything like that, you know?
Another thing is we're having a group chat and we're going to be communicating through that, and I am going to be hands in on every single aspect of this wedding because we don't have a planner. So I'm not just giving all these roles to people and then doing nothing. I'm actively participating in each one. But I just wanted to show you guys this. I think this is a great idea in general if you're having bridesmaids or even groomsmen, but especially if you need their help. A bridal party rundown would be perfect if you already have other people like running your wedding for you, just answering questions like, are they going to pay for things? What's their accommodation? You know, I think that's really great to have. So I'm going to print all this off and I'm going to put it in their little proposal boxes. Okay, so now that you guys have seen like the paper items that I'm adding, we're actually going to start building their proposal boxes. I'm very excited about this. I'm pretty sure I only have like one screenshot. This was kind of like an inspiration idea I liked. I liked how it was simple but very useful things in here. You guys can see they have like the cute little silk hair bows or the claw clip and even like the champagne. I wouldn't do champagne. I would do like a glass champagne cup so that we could use it the day of. So my vision for this is to get products that they can use in relation to the wedding and things they will actually use. No offense, but I don't want to waste money on stuff that people aren't going to use. So I've really thought through this. Here's my list of things that I want to get. The ones that are marked in like with the hearts are things I know I want to get. So I know I want to get them nail polish for the wedding day that will all match, a claw clip, either like a cute pearl one or like a butterfly one, and that'll be cute for when we're getting ready together in the bridal suite. I also do want to get a champagne glass that they'll use on like the sweetheart table. You know, everyone like will have their cute little glass. And then from Dollar Tree, which is where we're at right now, I want to get a container to hold it. So I have two ideas, either a burlap bag or a wooden crate I feel like would be really cute. And I also want to look for like stuffing. And then you guys can see on the list here are a couple other potential ideas that I thought were really cute. I feel like a Vaseline lip therapy would be cute, and the pink ones are adorable to make sure everyone's lips look good for the wedding day, but then also they can use it after. I feel like hand sanitizers are cute because that's just like realistic for them. Even like a gift card, like it just depends. So those are kind of the ideas, but today I definitely want to see not only if they have a crate and then filler for the crate, but I saw online that in Dollar Tree they actually have the champagne glasses. What are they called? Like champagne flutes? I literally have no idea. But anyways, they have them here and they're labeled like bridesmaids or like bride squad. So all the other things I'm going to be getting at other stores like Target, but I just wanted to come in here and find that stuff, see if they have it, but also look for prices for florals and other possible decorations. What I've been doing is the stores that I'm going into, I'll take a picture of the item that I like even if I'm like, I'm not sure, whatever I think I might like, I take a photo of it and then the price, and I put it in my wedding album so then I can compare like all the different things. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna start building boxes, proposal boxes, and we're going to look at possible decor. Okay, I'm in the bridal party section. This section is really cute for like decor if you're doing it for someone or maybe ideas for you. I think those would be cute for wedding favors, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this because I feel like rose petals would look so cute in their proposal boxes rather than the like paper confetti, and this comes with 300. Another idea that I think is really good is to get like a cosmetic bag so they can have all their wedding day essentials. This one is so cute, and then I was like, this is perfect, but then I opened it and it said Glam Squad, and that's just not my style. But if it was this cream and black, that'd be so cute. And honestly, I feel like depending on who your bridesmaids are, there's so many good like little things you could add in their proposal box. And then if you're like a little insecure about it, you can just simply take it out the packaging. Like if you're on a budget and you don't want them to know and whatnot, like just take it out the packaging and like lay it in there nicely. But there's so many things to choose from. Oh my gosh, you guys, I came to like their glassware and I found it. This is exactly what I wanted, but there's only two, so I'm just gonna get what I can now. But this is exactly what I was talking about. Aren't these pretty? I love those. They also have this one that says final fling before the ring. I do not like that pink at all, but I feel like this is pretty cute. Or they have these ones. These are cute. It just says cheers on it, so it's like very neutral. Okay, you guys, make sure you check the end aisles because look, this is actually so cute off the market. Are you kidding me? I'm like, I should get this one for me wedding day, but I do need 4. So perfect. Okay, so we're at Hobby Lobby now. We're in kind of like the packaging aisle because I couldn't find any boxes at Dollar Tree. So I found this section right here, and this is perfect for my idea. So these boxes are only $1.49. I was thinking about doing the brown, but there's only 2. So I'm debating between white or this because that kind of matches our colors, which is like sage green and white. Novi says white though, but they're $1.49 a piece. And I feel like doing gift tissue in your proposal box would also be really pretty. And they have a ton of bags, so I don't know, maybe you would even want to do a cute bag. Or they also have boxes. Like something like this would be really pretty. And this is the wooden box I was trying to find at Dollar Tree, but I think now that I've seen the other stuff, I'm just gonna go with those. So I have been debating between getting them a polish with our sage green color, specifically this one, the Sally Hansen Insta Dry, because this is my favorite polish to use, in Time is Money, but there's only one, so we can't do that. So instead, I was just thinking about getting them a neutral set of nails, like 2 of my bridesmaids with like long nails and 2 with like short. So I think we're gonna go with this, just so like in pictures, like, you know, it's neutral, not too much, because I also don't want their green to clash with their green nails. Like, that's a lot going on. Too bad they don't have more of those. There's only one. Those are so cute, but I think we're just gonna go with the little chouties and the neutral. I'm sorry if the sound of like the wind and the AC is bothering you guys. This clip won't be very long, but it is super hot outside and my seat is in the car, so I need the AC on for her. But we're gonna shift gears a little bit, and we're actually gonna go together to get a wedding decor piece from Facebook Marketplace. So thrift shopping and buying things off Facebook Marketplace is not new to me. I've done it for years. So with planning a wedding and buying things for a wedding, you know, it's only natural that I look as well. So I've been looking here and there on Facebook Marketplace, and I ended up finding this sign last night. And you guys, this was another God moment. This was just another full circle moment, and just the Lord is so sweet like that. Like, it's the little things, but like God knows how much even the little things can mean to us. And so this was just another like just sweet blessing from him. So basically, years ago, I can't remember if our daughter was born or not, or if it was before that, but years ago, Chance and I were shopping at Hobby Lobby. One of my favorite things to do, girl, probably looking for fall decorations. And we ended up randomly going into the wedding aisle. And when we walked into the wedding aisle, I saw this sign that says, "Welcome to our beginning." And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, babe, like, we have to have this sign. He was laughing at me because I took a photo of it, and I told him, when we get married, this sign is gonna be at our wedding. So tell me how last night I saw this same exact sign, and it was only 10 bucks. Originally, it's $29.99, like if you get it straight from Hobby Lobby, but the lady had used it once in her wedding, so she was like, I'm just gonna sell it for 10 bucks because technically it's used. When I was a child, I had this favorite book. I was in elementary school, I lived in New Mexico, and in our little school library, there was this book called The End of the Beginning and the Beginning of the End. And this book was essentially about these little bugs. I think it was primarily about a snail, and he was just on his life journey, and it just had the cutest like little illustrations, and I loved it, and I always checked it out. Like anytime I went to the library, if no one else had it, I would just keep checking it out. And at the very end of the story, it's been years since I've read it, but at the very end of the story, he like gets to the end of a branch, and I think he has to decide like whether or not to make the leap to go to the next branch. But like his journey's over, and so the book ends, the last couple lines say, "This is the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end." And ever since reading that as a child, that quote has literally stuck with me my entire life. Anytime I'm walking into a new season or a new time in my life or turning over a new chapter, like I'm just constantly reminded of that quote. And when our daughter was born, in like the YouTube video and in her announcement video and in the birth video, which no longer is up, but that was her quote. And that's just kind of been like my life quote. And so like, the fact that I saw a sign that says "Welcome to our beginning" was so sentimental to me because of this book, because of the quote. But then the fact that I saw this years ago, I took a photo of it and was like, we're gonna come back and get this, and now here we are like doing it. Like, it's just so wonderful, and I'm so excited about it. So that's what we're on our way to do.
One thing I've realized with this whole party planning and decoration process is there are hundreds of listings for wedding decor on Facebook, which tells me that so many people wasted money on wedding decor that they're only going to use once, and then they're going to try to resell it, but odds are they're not going to actually resell it. So my advice to you, depending on your budget, depending on your personality type, is to either, if you want like extravagant decorations, but you're like, I know I'm not going to use it again, I would rent. Like, I would look up party rentals in your area because there are party places who rent out decor. I would do it that way. Or if you're like me, be very practical about it. So we have like 3 different ideas for our tablescapes. We haven't decided, but in one of the ideas, we're using tiny, cute mason jars, and we're gonna either fill them up with flowers or tea lights, and that'll be part of the table decorations. But that's really practical because that's just a small way that we can reuse that, because those baby mason jars can be filled with spices and we can use it as storage containers or like snack containers for my daughter. Like, my approach is definitely to be able to reuse things as far as decoration, and that's also why we're going with the floral theme we're going with, because it can be reused in decoration all around our house for different seasons or for all around. So that'd be my advice. I'm really not planning to resell stuff. I don't think it actually works out that way. I think there's way too much wedding stuff being resold, so it's just not a good idea. But also, if we don't use it in a practical way, like around our home after the wedding, I want to be able to also use it to put in our party decoration box. I also want to keep that in mind too when I'm looking for decoration. Like, can I reuse this in our party planning box? So that's just my approach, but I definitely would not recommend, especially if you're doing this on a budget, to buy a ton of wedding decor and then think you're going to resell it, because odds are it's not going to happen. And I've definitely heard that time and time again. So just try to reuse it in a practical way. So even if you do spend a big buck like on your decorations, it doesn't go to waste because you're reusing it in your house or for different seasons or things like that. Okay, this is what the sign fully looks like. I love it. I think what we're gonna do is get different shades of our green and kind of paint it on like where the pink is really showing through. The neutral is fine, that goes with it, and the cream, but like the pinks just doesn't. So we're gonna probably DIY it, but for 10 bucks, I mean, you can't go wrong. This was definitely a good steal. So we're gonna see how we can change it up a little bit. All right, you guys, I'm gonna haul everything that I decided to get for my bridesmaids proposal boxes, give you some ideas. Obviously, this is gonna vary depending on what you wanna do and your budget. When I was just asked with a cute little box and a paper. Some people just ask verbally, or you can gift them a couple of items, high-end items, low-end items. It's just up to you. So this was my idea. Maybe it will help some of you brides planning. The first place we went to was Dollar Tree. You guys saw I got these white rose petals, and I'm obsessed. I highly recommend getting this because it just gives it that next level. It looks so cute as a filler, and I already know that because I actually handed one of my proposal boxes out yesterday. My family came in town, and the bridesmaid that I was going to ask couldn't be here, so I ended up giving it to her mom, and then she just FaceTimed me because she lives out of my city. So it worked great. She said yes. But also from Dollar Tree, you guys saw I got these Bride Squad champagne flutes. I love these. I also have their proposal papers, so you guys can kind of get an idea. I just made these on Canva and printed them out and trimmed the corners. So I kind of like Googled quotes to ask, or like proposal phrases, and then I made them like my own because I had 4, so I didn't want to do the same thing for each one. So that's what I did. I just Pinterest ideas and then added my own idea. The next place we went to was Hobby Lobby to get the containers. Next, I actually got a couple things off of Temu. I did like a collective Temu haul, and I just wanted to see the quality of some items, and I was like, if they're great quality, then I'll use them as some filler items for the proposal boxes, and that's exactly what happened. So I ended up getting these neutral cream and tan smiley face scrunchies, because they can use these well after the wedding, but I just thought these were so cute, especially the cream. And then I also got a 3-pack of these butterfly clips. This one actually matches like my veil beading, and then there is this one with the pearls. There was a third one which just had like pearls randomly placed, and I have to get one more because unfortunately this only came with 3, so I ordered 2 packs, but the other pack got lost or just didn't come. So one of my bridesmaids still needs one of these, but I'm sure I can find it somewhere. but I thought these were really pretty for Temu. The next thing I got were these nails from Walmart. You guys saw I was debating on getting polish or nails. I ended up going with these to be neutral because their dresses are going to be green, so I didn't want like green dress, green nails, and then it just clashes and looks crazy. So my sister and my younger sister-in-law both love long acrylic nails, so I got these Kiss Natural French Tips in medium for them. And my other two bridesmaids, they typically go for shorter nails, so I got them the same exact style, but just in the short version. And while I was at Walmart, I ended up finding these. Some of you might not like this idea, but I thought it would be cute. So these are little body sprays by Body Fantasies, which is like a Walmart brand. They were in the travel section. This is Japanese cherry blossom, and I had the idea, what if they were all matching their fragrance so that we didn't have 1,000,001 perfumes going on the day of the wedding and then stuff starts to clash and smell weird. Then the last thing I wanted to add was lip balms. I could not for the life of me find these baby pink Vaselines. I just thought they were so cute, but couldn't find them, and I don't shop at Target anymore. I know that Target has them, but I'm not shopping at Target because of their anti-Christ, anti-God agenda and pushing false identity on precious children. That's just crazy. So we need to be mindful of what we support and what we fund as Christians. So couldn't find those, but I found these little EOS ones, and I figured these would be cute too. So I'm just doing some petals on the bottom. That off, their little champagne flew right there. Okay, and their nails. These are so cute. Ooh, I like how they're not pigmented. I was kind of worried if this one's pigmented, but it's not. So what did I have? The clip. Okay, I'm strategically putting this one that matches my veil with my sister because she's my maid of honor, and I just think that's really cute. Was on. Put this cream one on top. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I feel like something's missing. This goes right there perfectly there, and then the flowers sitting over it. Okay, little bit of a final product moment. Super cute. Love it.
Nails, because I need those.
A perfume for you to wear.
Cute. Will you be my maid of honor?
So it is Sunday, and I actually just got back home from our church's campus, well, one of the campuses. It's because I asked one of the pastors to be our officiant. I am so excited and so grateful. He said yes. I'll put a picture of his little proposal box here. I asked his wife, which is actually Carmel, what he liked, and I put like together this little chocolate box with a note, and it was just really sweet. But he said yes, so we have our officiant. I'm so excited. So it's actually Pastor Manny. He is the children's pastor at our church, and he's the one who I have been under his leadership for the past 3 years. And Carmel, his wife, is one of my dear friends. She was the one who actually trained me to be a pre-K teacher, and so she's been a mentor to me, and they've been awesome. But what's so sentimental is this isn't just a random pastor. I first met them in 2020 when I was a babe in Christ, so they have been there from the very beginning. They've been such a great example of a godly force to be reckoned with. Their marriage is such a healthy, godly, good example, and so it means a lot to me that he is going to be officiating our wedding. You know, I take that so seriously. I know some people, like when I first started wedding planning, I was like, okay, how am I going to find an officiant? What's going on? And it took me a little while because I was thinking about a couple people. One person couldn't do it. Well, actually, I didn't really officially ask, but really sure about the whole officiant thing. And I kept seeing on like my little groups that people would just randomly comment if they're an officiant. And they'd be like, okay, I want you, I'll book you. And I just, as a Christian woman, as a woman of God, I was just like, that doesn't feel right. It has to be someone who has that authority, you know, someone who's in relationship with the Lord, like a pastor. And then when I thought of Pastor Manny, I was like, this is perfect because they have always been there for Chance and I in our relationship, through the highs and through the lows, and they've always spoken so much truth and life and biblical advice to us, which I so appreciate because it really helped in our relationship. And so it's just so awesome and sentimental. At the altar, I'm just so excited because it's just gonna be so powerful. And that's what I suggest whether you're a Christian or not, you're taking that covenant of marriage before God, because God is the one who created the covenant of marriage between a man and a woman, and it's just really serious. So I would highly recommend getting someone from your church, your pastor of your church. Maybe it's your lead pastor, maybe you volunteer in ministry and it's like a pastor in a different a different branch of the ministry and whatnot. But I'm so excited because they have been here throughout the whole journey, so it just feels right, it just feels complete. I actually have to teach in about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna head out of here, but I just wanted to update you guys on that and let you know that it went super well and we're super excited.
Okay, we're gonna start with invitations. We have already sent our save the dates. For our save the dates and our invites, we used Canva. I love Canva. I pay monthly for it anyway, so I knew with our wedding that's what I was gonna use. If you have a very specific wedding theme and you can't like design your own invitation, I would recommend Etsy. Etsy, you can buy like the PDF version, print it at home or print it at Walgreens or something, but we did Canva. We sent our save the dates, which I'll put a picture on the screen here, through text message and through group chat. That's just how our family works. We didn't feel like wasting the material for a save the date. Rather, it was just easy for us to text people individually and then text our family group chat, but that's just what works for us. Now we're going to print our actual invites and we're going to mail these today. So I want to show you guys the different materials that we're using. I went to Hobby Lobby and I got these envelope seals from the wedding section. They had a ton of different options, but I like the 2 gold hearts. Then the brand we decided to go with for envelopes and cardstock is called the Paper Studio. So we got these off-white ones. There's 50 in here. And then you guys can see we just got the heavyweight cardstock.
Oh, great.
Also, side note, if you're watching this because you're planning a wedding, something I would also recommend is getting wedding invites from Hobby Lobby. They sell them in like a pack of 25. You can customize them. They have some beautiful options. I'll try to put them on the screen to help you girlies out. But really, I was like, if something went wrong with my invites, that's what I would do as like my backup. You can walk in store and get them. And honestly, they were good quality. So do not sleep on Hobby Lobby's wedding stuff. They also have a lot of sales. So I would recommend that as an invitation as well. We are officially in the home stretch of the invitations. So the cardstock I got was way too thick to go through our normal printers. So we ended up printing it on resume paper and then we sized it, we cut it down, we used a little edge or like a corner cutter to like smooth out the edges, and then I just attached the resume invite paper onto the cardstock to kind of make it more fancy. And then these are our RSVPs. Our RSVPs are on the normal resume paper. But yeah, I'm actually very happy with how this turned out. This has taken us way longer than expected because we didn't have the proper paper cutter, so we weren't able to get the edges perfect, so we kind of had to like regroup, replan, but then thankfully Chance's grandma has this and she came through for us. So we used this to glue it together from Hobby Lobby. Highly recommend. I remember using this when I was a kid for scrapbooking because like scrapbooking was really popular and I did it with my mom. This saved my life. I wouldn't recommend using double-sided tape just because it's too thick and we wanted to get it as like smooth and seamless and close together as possible, but these babies are done. I actually love how they turned out and I took a lot of time with my hands to make them, so I am proud of them. But we're gonna go ahead and get them sealed in their envelopes and we're gonna run to the post office. Okay, so we just got to the post office and I had to get a book of stamps, and this is the one thing, the invites, the one thing that I do wish I would have planned sooner, especially because I was DIYing them. But here's what they look like. It just took me a lot longer to cut all the papers because we had the actual invites to cut, then round the corners, then we had the RSVPs to cut and round the corners, then we had the cardstock to do that. So that just took quite some time. So if you're DIYing your invites, I would definitely say give yourself time to mess up. We're here, we're getting it done, and that's the most important part. I actually had fun making my own invites. I love creating things with my hands, so
So thank you guys for tuning in to this second episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I do not get copyrighted this time because I pay monthly for a music, like for non-copyright music. And my first vlog literally got copyrighted, so I couldn't make any revenue off that, which was such a bummer. So let's pray that that doesn't happen again, because I left my credits and did everything I was supposed to do, and I pay for the songs, so that was crazy. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this second episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and it's been really beautiful for me to be able to go back, edit these vlogs, put them together, and reminisce on such a wonderful time in our life. You know, when you're in the mix, y'all, it is so busy. Honestly, it's really stressful. And I feel like you're just in like flight mode, like you're just in survival mode. You're doing what you got to do. You're party planning, doing all this stuff, right? That sometimes you do forget to take a moment and just breathe it all in and look around and see and enjoy the process. So in a way, that's what this has been. It's been therapeutic. It's so sweet to relive this. Like literally today, I was already looking back at our wedding videos and crying, like the actual footage that my cousin's husband, thank God, he's such an angel, recorded for us. That's a whole story for later on in the vlog. Before I go, I want to encourage you guys one last time. If you are doing a wedding on a budget, or if you are doing a wedding by yourself and you're planning your husband and your own wedding, you can totally do it. Be encouraged. It is possible. And you got this. So I'll see you guys in episode 3 really, really soon.